Final Fantasy XVI will make you feel the wind during cutscenes, sort of. At the start of the story, 15-year-old Clive begins the game as Joshua's bodyguard during a time of growing unrest in Valisthea. While Clive is not Phoenix's dominant, Joshua shares the power of Phoenix with him. The Duchy is attacked with tragic results, and in the ensuing chaos, the dark Eikon Ifrit manifests. To find a purpose for himself, Clive becomes the First Shield of Rosaria, tasked with protecting Joshua and blessed by the Phoenix, allowing Clive to use part of its flames. Tragic events involving the dark Eikon Ifrit lead to Clive embarking on a quest for revenge. When asked about how the game makes use of the DualSense adaptive triggers and haptic feedback during gameplay, Takai said, "There are certain sections where the player will have to open heavy doors or lift up portcullises, and we use the adaptive triggers there to put across that feeling of effort and resistance. They're also used when riding chocobos. The haptic feedback can produce extremely subtle vibrations, which we use to create a heightened feeling of presence in cutscenes. We converted the sound effects used in each scene into haptic data, which let us portray details that we've never been able to before, like the movements of the air. Hopefully we won't just be feeling the wind in every single cutscene and more so just in moments that feel appropriate, but little details like this can definitely add to the overall atmosphere of a moment." You might also be happy to hear that Final Fantasy XVI has gone gold, as confirmed on the game's Twitter, way ahead of the June 22 release date. This essentially means that the main game is ready to be sent off and printed on discs, though this doesn't rule out a Day 1 patch. Final Fantasy XVI is set on Valisthea, a world split between the two continents Ash and Storm, scattered with magical mother crystals, which provide ether energy to the population, though overuse causes magic users to petrify. In the backstory, a technologically advanced sky-based civilization once dominated the world. 1,500 years before, a great war caused the sky civilization to collapse, with remnants of it scattering across Valisthea. In the present, the sky civilization is treated as a legend. The mother crystals become focuses for later civilization, with 6 nations controlling Valisthea by the game's events. A powerful force in Valisthea are the Eikons, magical creatures based on summoned monsters from the Final Fantasy series. The known Eikons, Phoenix, Shiva, Titan, Garuda, Leviathan, Bahamut, Odin and Rama, each represent one element and typically never fight each other. A seemingly impossible second Eikon of fire, Ifrit, drives the main plot by disrupting this balance. The core nations of Valisthea are the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, the Holy Empire of Sambrek, and the Dalmatian Republic on the Storm continent, the Kingdom of Waylode which dominates the Ash continent, and the neutral crystalline dominion sitting between Ash and Storm. An outlier is the Iron Kingdom, an isolated nation off the coast of Storm overseen by the Crystalline Orthodox, which speaks its own language. By the game's events, Valisthea is suffering from a depletion of ether dubbed the Blight, driving the nations into conflict with each other. A key part of the nation's politics and military are dominants, humans who can use magic without crystals and manifest icons, though they are more at risk from petrification. Depending on where they are born, dominants are hailed as political leaders, tolerated due to their power, or suffer abuse and are either killed or used as weapons of war. The game's protagonist is Clive Rosefield, firstborn son of Rosaria's ruling family who is passed over as successor when his younger brother Joshua becomes the dominant of Phoenix. While not a dominant, Clive can acquire and wield the power of multiple icons in combat. A childhood friend and future companion is Jill Warwick, the eventual dominant of Shiva who spends much of her life as a political hostage. During his travels, Clive is joined by his dog Torgal, and Sadolphus Telamon, the dominant of Rama who seeks to establish a nation to shelter victimized magic users, and an incarnation of a recurring Final Fantasy character. Other prominent characters include Barnabas Tharmer, King of Waylode and dominant of Odin, Benedicta Harmon, a Waylode spy and dominant of Garuda, Hugo Kupka, dominant of Titan and key political figure in the Dalmatian Republic, and Dion Lesage, crown prince of Sambruk and the dominant of Bahamut.